What's up, Squanto Nation? Working on my F350 dually. So swapping out this transmission line. That's the front side, that's the rear. As you can see, she's held together here. I don't know if I might just take that out because I can't get to that bolt anyway, as the truck is, in running condition, bolted together. So I spared you guys the removal. I don't know if you can see, but there it is, just cut up into. I disconnected off the rear, cut it at the cross support, and then I disconnected off the filter and cut it at the cross support. I took the filter can off to get some room, and I'll tell you, it took a lot of carb cleaner and lube and chain oil and dental pick, just cleaning around these fittings. I taped these for the install because I'm going to have to be jamming and cramming, and there's a lot of sand and rust in there. So make sure you tape your ends so that you don't get dirt and corrosion inside your transmission lines, because by the time you get these in, they are going to be completely smoked. I'm going to take this tire off so that I can get a little bit more room, and basically you can install these from the front, and you're going to work them back to the rear. So you don't have to take your radiator off. You don't have to remove anything. You could take your oil pan out. You could take some things out. I'm sure you could unbolt your engine from your cross member, cross support, and lift your engine up. It's a big job. You don't have to, though. It's a Tetris game to get them in there, and you will have to bend these a little bit. That being said, we're going to try to not bend these as much as possible. I wish I could reroute them or just make some nice high pressure hoses myself. But this is where I'm at. I'm out in East Bumfuck. Mama's on her way to the grocery store. May God get her home safely and drive safe. These roads aren't that great. So, like I said, I spared you the time yesterday. It was just a real lot. You are going to need this tool, W83112, on an F350 6.0 liter. This is the turbo diesel Power Stroke V8 XL Super Duty. It's the single cab dump body. And it's the dually, but it's really, all you need to know is it's an 06, and I believe it's like from 97 to 07 or something like that. 01 to 07, 99, might be 99 to 07. All of these are going to be the same on the 6.0, and I believe this, I don't know. Anyway, you're going to need this part, this specific tool. Don't get a universal, don't get anything. You need the 1/2 inch transmission, specifically the transmission line removal tool. And before you get this thing crammed in there and break that little tab on the front that you need to click them in, make sure you cleaned out all around your nipple here. Clean all the way around it. At the filter, you're going to just keep and put a dental pick in there and clean out all that rust. The older your machine is, the more you've used it in the sandy, salty grossness, the worse it's going to be. It's right underneath. It's one of the first things that gets hit. So just make sure that you're cleaning that off really well. If you stick it in there and you hear a bunch of grinding and crunching, you got to get that out, or else it's not going to click. And you just push until you hear the click, and then you can pull. You will hear a click. Basically, it's just it takes a lot of wiggling and moving around. You can twist these with a, channel locks, and they will twist while they're in the filter. But in the rear is all bolt off. These are bolt. So I believe it's like 5/8, something like that. I just use an adjustable. You can take the big one off, so it'll have this, which has a threaded, like a 1/2 inch NPT, and it's threaded into like an inch NPT, and that goes in. You can take the big one off all the way and then undo it on the, you know, while it's out here, easier if you're not having a good luck just taking it off the hose. And then you can put it back on, the big one back on the tranny. But you're going to want to put that big one back on the transmission before you put your line in. So anyway, and make sure you tape them off. Don't use cheap tape. I have containment tape. This is the best stuff you can use. And tape them off. They don't have to be right crazy, but I just wrapped it around, rolled it over, and then wrapped it around. So make sure you use something that's going to stick and stay. And I prefer containment tape. I don't know, I can only find this stuff online, but it's called containment tape, and it's very, very good tape. Anyway, so there's your tool. 1/2 inch is what you're going to need. W83112 at Napa. That's the Napa. Well, you can find that one at Napa. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but that's one of the brands. Don't buy this line unless you buy that tool. And don't buy a universal. Buy a specific tool to that specific part. Okay, so we have this. Like I said, I spared you the cussing and the cursing yesterday, removing this damn thing. And while you do it, you might as well get a filter, because you're going to want to take your filter housing off anyway to get way up in there. I got the Napa Gold. I would not buy that styrofoam junk one, the STP. I would not do that. Just get the Napa Gold or the Duralast version. Doesn't have to be a name brand. But the STP one, that foam one, just looks like crap. I don't trust that. All right, so I'm gonna start working on getting this tire taken off, and I'm gonna get under there and kind of give it a preemptive look. If I can lift anything or move anything out of the way, I will. I know I'm gonna have to clean off between the engine and the core support, or the cross member, because there's a lot of dirt and dust down there in there. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll get the air tool, needle hose, or something, but I know I'm gonna want to clean that out. Anyway, I'll get back to you with the tire off and this line started, and we'll try to videotape this the best as possible. I noticed there isn't one of these videos online, so I should have taken a video on the removal, but I just gave you all the tips you're really going to need to know. You know, make sure you clean that off, hear the click, get the tool, and take the filter shroud, the housing off. It'll be a 16 millimeter for the housing. This is what I'm talking about right there. I believe that, no, that's a 22, sorry. 22 millimeter there. And it comes with an O-ring. The O-ring's in that box right there. And all you do is take that spring off the old one and put the spring on your new one. That's all you're doing. You put it right back in just like that. And it'll go up in just like that. I just got mine in my cup holder so that I know I'm not going to lose it or let that filter get damaged or whatever. But I took it out for inspection before I installed the damn thing. But I just wanted to put the spring where it needed to be, and now it's in safekeeping. I'm going to shut this box. I got 2 of these parts, the tool removal tool, because I just had a feeling mine was going to break because there was so much corrosion in between the clicker and the hose. And look, see, that's getting snow all over it, and those nipples will never get anything inside of them. So make sure you tape those off. Anyway, I used carb cleaner to clean out the ring. I dental picked around it with a dental tool, which is This is one of them, but I used my other 45 degree or my 90 degree. But this would work as well, and you just clean off around that line up at the filter. Like I said, the rear, those are just going to unbolt and unscrew. I cut mine right at the NPT fitting, and I put a ratcheting combo. I put a ratcheting combination wrench on mine. I believe it was a 17, something like that. May have been a 5/8. Either way, it's a ratchet. I cut my line right off because I knew I was going to remove it, so you don't need to have it there. You could also put a socket on it, but I just put a combo wrench and an adjustable on the big one, untwisted it. Those come out easy. But the front, you are going to have to pick it and clean it very well before you end up getting your click, usually. I know I did. Mine was so bad. And you got to keep working it. And the best thing to do is to twist it with your channel locks or put some vice grips on it, twist it, hold it up there, clean it that way, pick it around it and clean it, and then twist it and bring it back, clean it, and just keep twisting and cleaning it until you can get that snap, your removal tool to snap and lock in, and then you can pull your line out. All right, I'll get back to you in a second here. Take this tire off, make me some room so I can get this line in.